Alright gang, welcome back to the channel. Chris here, your friendly neighborhood critter. Yeah, today something a little different. Today we are on the CF Moto 650 Adventura, and I'm just going to give you my first impressions view of this thing while riding it. It's sort of out of my forte, out of my realm. You know, as you know, I'm big into the dual sport world, moto camping world, and I do have a 1300cc cruiser at home. Haven't ridden that in a while though, so we're going to take this one for a little spin. I'm not sure how the wind noise is doing, but I may have to voice over a whole bunch of stuff, but that's okay. Just I'll make mental note of what's going on, and I'm going to fill you in on my thoughts on the CF Moto 650 Adventura. So stick around. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get to it. All right, now this bike is brand new. It only had 81 kilometers on the clock when I picked her up. And it is completely different than what I'm used to, obviously. It has two modes, Eco and Sport. I'm in Sport right now. So I just went down onto this side road quickly, just to be able to talk. And a couple of first things right away that I notice. For my height, it's actually a comfortable bike to sit on for right now. I'm 6'2", super long legs, and you know, even though they're bent way past the 45 degree, it's still fairly comfortable. The seat is very comfortable. My only gripe are these mirrors. I cannot, for the life of me, get them to be where I need them to be. So I'm constantly having to move my head a little bit just to be able to see properly back there. That's one sort of semi-negative. You could obviously fix that somehow. Bars feel good, bike feels smooth. I know it's like I've only been on the bike for maybe 5 minutes, and there's a learning curve for every bike, and right now this bike's a little jerky. Throttle response is sometimes there, sometimes not. The clutch is sometimes smooth, sometimes not. I'm sure I will be able to smooth all of that out by the end of this ride, and so I'll report back on that. But right now it has plenty of jam, plenty of fun to get up. It wants to get going in sport mode. Like I said, eco mode is very tame, really tame, almost boring, if you will, but it would be really good for someone just starting off, someone maybe moving up to a larger CC bike for the first time, coming from a smaller bike and just putting around town. So the comfort wise, we're going to find out. I'm going to go out to Qualicum Beach here. That's about an hour-and-a-half ride, and we'll see how the seat does, because this is supposed to be a kind of like an entry-level tour, I guess. So we'll see just how comfy I am once I get there. See, I'm already noticing clutch and stuff is getting smoother. Just a few more minutes at it, and I'll have her down pat. Oh, and did I mention that it's December 12th? December 12th here on Vancouver Island, Canada. Woo! Pretty awesome. I also put the windscreen down in the lowest position. I had it up in the highest position thinking that would help, and it really created buffeting on my helmet, I guess just because of my height. So down at the lowest position, yes, it's shooting all the wind into my face, but it's a nice wind. I'm not getting my head jerked all over the place, and you know, all the buffeting going on. So quite enjoyable there, and it's keeping it all off my body, so I'm really quite warm. I'm actually going to unplug my heated vest. because it's protecting my body so well. All right, so a little bit more of this, then we'll get onto the highway, and I'll let you know what I think about after the highway. Super smooth on the highway. And with it being so low in the Kims, only 81, I'm not gonna hooligan it. I'm gonna let her brake in nicely, so I'll keep her around here. Speed limit's 90. I'm within the margin at 98. But yeah, it's the bars are steady, super smooth. It wants to go in the direction you point it. It's planted. Yeah, it feels pretty good so far. I like it. Not bad. Not a lot of vibration coming up through the seat from the motor, so that's pretty cool. Wants to lean nice into the corners, nice and smooth. That van came up blowing a lot of air, and it didn't toss me around, the turbulence from it, so that was nice too. So yeah, I could see logging a bunch of miles on this thing for sure. Yeah, and actually that windscreen where it's at is, for me, for the lowest position, is perfect. Like at this speed, it is now shooting everything right above me. So I'm right in this nice comfort pocket, this nice zone. Pretty nice. It is my first time riding a motorcycle with a large windscreen like that, so I think I kind of like it. And even at, you know, 106 gear, it still has power to go. It has more to give you, so you could pull up and pass somebody if you had to. There's more to go for sure. Okay, I'm gonna jump off the highway again, and we'll try this route. It's got some twisties in it. We'll see how that feels. I'm gonna get stuck behind traffic though, so I won't be able to enjoy the twisties totally, but we'll see how it goes. Stuck behind a minivan. What do we got behind me? 1, 2, 3. Huh. It's not even worth pulling over, but I will. I'm gonna pull over for a minute and see if we can get some of these guys ahead of me so I can enjoy some of these corners. Now the one thing that's really taken time to get used to is that gear shifter. So right there, I don't know if you guys can see that in the camera or not, but yeah, right there. And what's happening is I'm putting my foot here rather than out to the outside. I keep hitting that where it returns back into the motor, and yeah, it's taken a little bit of getting used to. I guess that's from all my dirt riding, wanting to hug my toes in rather than toes out, but this one it's like you almost want to ride toes out, and that's not exactly the best thing in the world, is it? So good, nobody's coming. We'll let that little Hyundai go up a little bit, and then we'll have some fun on these corners. We'll see what happens. That could be part of the reason why my shifts are so jerky too, because I keep hitting that bar. It's going against everything I know to ride with my toe out. Maybe my feet are just too big. Oh, dirt on the track here too. Dirt on the road, nice. I'm still scrubbing in the tires as well. They're new, so I gotta take it easy. So I shouldn't have been in fifth for climbing that hill. You can't tell on the camera, but it climbed it no problem. A little bit of a judder. Should have been in fourth, but it still, with a minimal amount of complaining, still went up it. So that's good. Yeah, and I do like the seat. The seat is comfortable. It's really comfortable, man. And it raises up right where you sit, so you almost have this little cup, and it sort of grabs your tush. It's grabbing your butt. It's keeping you on the bike. So that's pretty slick. Pretty comfy. What a nice day for a ride. Not bad for December 12th. Noticing too that it's another bike that prefers to be in the higher RPM range. You gotta be over 3.5 grand. 3 grand right here, 3.5. At 3.5, she purrs. Anything less than that, she starts to judder. and you can feel it in the body. The bike starts to surge. So 3.5 grand, fourth gear, 62 kilometers an hour, and everything is nice and smooth right now. And room on the throttle. Yeah, she's okay. She's quick. I have ridden quicker, but I mean, it's still fun. And you know, a lot of riding a motorcycle is what it does for you. So if this one puts a smile on your face, it's doing its job, right? So that was fun. All right, get past this and away we go. That time there taking off, there was a little bit of a hesitation. Like it almost had no fuel for a second. It just sort of almost stalled out. So I'm doing mostly the side roads to get to where I'm going first, just so I can get a really good feel of the bike before I get it onto the highway with a lot of cars, a lot of traffic, higher speeds. I mean, there's a lot of cars here right now. This is the Christmas tourist rush, I guess. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, you got to play it cool, right? You got to play it smart when you're out on a bike that's not yours. So that's why I'm taking the side roads, to really get to know the bike well before I go and take it up to higher speeds. I need to know how responsive the brakes are, how responsive the throttle is, the steering, all that stuff. Get familiar with that before you hit the speed.
The CF Moto 650 Adventura. So, some of my thoughts. The engine feels and sounds powerful enough to provide adequate performance for various riding conditions. I personally found the riding position quite comfortable. You're not leaning too far forward, with lots of room to adjust your body. In fact, today's ride was just over 4 hours straight, and I could have gone a lot longer. The bang for your buck. This is a very competitive price point compared to the other adventure bikes in its class. The one I'm currently riding is priced at $8,587 Canadian. Its closest competitor would be the Suzuki 650 Versus, which is priced at $12,594 Canadian. That's almost $4,000 less than its closest competitor. And I kind of think it's a good looking bike. I like the blue. And standing there, it still looks like it wants to go on an adventure. But now for some of the concerns or oddities I noticed. Some people have reached out and mentioned their concerns about the overall build quality and durability. However, this bike that I'm on, I went over the whole bike, pulling, tugging, shaking, just going over everything, looking for loose bolts, sloppy body panels, poor welds, all that kind of stuff. But I can tell you, it's tight. It's a solid build with a very nice fit and finish. The longevity of that though, well, let's see if it's just as tight, say 20,000 Ks from now. Time will tell on that one. The suspension and handling is a little bit different to what I've ridden before. It almost feels like the bike is front heavy, carrying all of its weight in the front tire. Took a little bit to get used to. I do like the simple electronics, but the interface takes a bit of getting used to, and it was kind of clumsy. But the most important negative I found was that of the throttle response. Not sure exactly why, but when you crank it at speed, say like in the case of wanting to pass or do a quick maneuver, it stalls out. And then the fact that it needs to be in the higher revs to run smoothly, well, that makes the slow maneuvers a bit of a challenge. Now, maybe all of this could be fixed in the mapping, I'm not sure, but these are just the things I noticed. So after all is said and done, I'd say it's a pretty decent motorcycle. And at this price point, you really can't go wrong. Is it a bike I personally would buy? No, it's not really my style, as I prefer something a little more off-road abusable, if you will. However, I feel this would be a great step-up bike. You know, for someone who wants a great daily rider with the capability of munching some miles over a long weekend, I really don't think you could go wrong.
Okay, well guys, that's it for me and the CF Moto 650 Adventura. If you liked what you saw, please do me a favor and hit that like button down below. If you want to see more, leave me a comment saying that you want to see me ride some more bikes. The gang at VI Powersports has a slew of them, and I'm sure if I ask nice enough and if you guys demand enough, I could probably take them out for a ride. Also, don't forget, I did a first ride review of the 750 Transalp. I'll link that up here somewheres. Yeah, so until next time, let's get out there and ride.